Welcome to the Painting Coach, and today I'm very excited because I have in my hand some Golden Demon winning paint. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, this is the new mini colour range by Artist Opus and Cult of Paint. And Andy Wardle won a bronze Golden Demon for his Fuegen and a gold Golden Demon for his amazing diorama in the recent Golden Demon Awards at Spiel Essen in Germany. Now, Byron was very gracious to send me a handful of these paints to give them a go and see what I thought. Now, Andy is an absolutely world-class painter, so that got me thinking, what could someone like me or you do with these paints? So we're going to try them out. We're going to give them a go. I've only got a limited selection, but I'm very excited. Now, if you are interested in buying these paints, the Kickstarter has got a very short period of time left. Use the link down in the description. That's my personal affiliate link. So if you do go ahead, it means that I'll get a small kickback, but it won't cost you anything extra. It just goes to help the channel out really and support me in terms of picking up all the bits and bobs that I need. So without any further ado, let's dive in and see what they are like. Let's look at the paints that I've got then. So I've got three greens. I've got moss, I've got fern, and I've got gherkin. I really quite like the look of that gherkin colour. Then I've got a selection of browns. Well, I've got olive and I've got cappuccino. Spoiler alert, cappuccino was my absolute favourite. I've also got white. I've got tar, which is, it's not a matte black. It's maybe a semi-matte black. And then for the reds, which I'm really excited about, we've got claret, cherry, chili, cardinal, and papaya. I mean, how can you not love a paint that's called papaya? So let's have a look how these spread on the palette. Now, in terms of how they spread really nicely. And when I show you some painted examples shortly, what you're going to see is that actually these paints are really smooth. They just flow off your brush fantastically well. Now, they're not designed for absolute coverage. So they're not full of titanium white pigment to give them extra coverage. They are very bright and very vibrant colors. So some of them are going to cover better than others. And I'll talk to you a little bit about that as I'm going through the painted examples. We're going to paint something green, we're going to paint something cappuccino, or we're going to paint something red so that you can get a full kind of scope of how they look. And the other thing I wanted to do as well is I wanted to see how they worked with other paint colors, because you don't want to throw out all the paint you've already got. You want to see if these work and they blend. So I've got some AK Ice Yellow here, and I'm going to mix that in with the gherkin. And the reason for that is I want a lighter green colour that's still quite vibrant in terms of how it looks. I don't want to put the white in with it because I'll just desaturate it. And then once I've done that, I'm also going to mix some Citadel Kislev flesh and then some Citadel Flayed One flesh in with it as well, just to see how all these paint colours play together. And I'm very conscious that as I'm doing this, the lights are quite bright and it's a bit of a reflective surface. I should have used slightly different parchment paper on my wet palette for this. But I've taken a still photograph of how this all looks. So you can see what the paint looked like there. I really like how they flow off the brush. I really like how I've just managed to paint those really nice smooth lines without fully loading the brush, without fully thinning the paints down. So that's a little bit about the paints. Let's get into the nitty gritty of what we really want to know. How do they look when we use them to paint models? So we'll paint something green, and what else should we paint other than an orc? Now, I've got this orc boy, and it's primed Wreathbone, because I normally like to use contrast paints to do orcs, but I thought, why not try these paints on it? Now, I'm going to start off with a base coat of fern. Now, you can see as I'm applying it to the model, it's flowing really nicely. It's coming off the brush really smoothly. It's not covering perfectly in one coat. Now, paint will seldom cover over a light undercoat in one pass. So it's really important to let that dry and add a second coat. So let's see how that looks. Now, it looks quite nice. So the next thing I'm going to do is take some gherkin. I'm going to just apply this on top of the fern from the previous step. And what I'm looking to do here is just kind of block in the musculature. I'm not looking to do anything overly special. I just want to kind of trace some of the big, massive shapes of this orc. And you can see as I'm applying the gherkin, you can see it's fairly thin. So I've thinned it down a bit on the palette as well. Again, it's not covering fantastically well, but that's fine, because what that means we can do is we can really build up some of these layers, and it can be nice and vibrant as we do that. So I'm just working across the orc now, picking out the shapes of the musculature across the back and the arms. And the other thing I've noticed as I'm doing this is the paints don't dry immediately. You've got a little bit of working time with them. I noticed this looking at the palette as well. So they don't dry out particularly quickly, whereas some paints do. And the other thing that happens as well, I noticed on the wet palette with some paints, is that it draws too much water in. So your usability time is fairly low. Whereas with these, it seems to be a little bit better. As I'm just building those layers up, I'm starting to get a nice highlight. So this is where I mix the AK Ice Yellow in with the gherkin, and what I'm looking to do here is just sketch in some of the muscle fibers from all those tense muscles. And you can see as I'm working my way across here, I'm getting some really nice kind of yellowy green colors. I'm just painting lots of short lines here. I quite like this effect, and it's good, and it's encouraging to see that actually this paint works really nicely with other brands. So AK, traditionally is very ultra matte in terms of how the finish comes on the paint. So I'm mixing the two in here and it's working really nicely. It's still got the properties of that gherkin and it's flowing really nicely off the brush as well. So I used some of that Kislev Flesh Gherkin Ice Yellow mix monstrosity off the palette just to add some lightness in the inside of the ears and also coming into that lip. And that works absolutely fine as well. So I really quite like this orc and I think it looks quite nice. So I'm quite happy with the greens. Very limited palette, but for me, they seem to be working quite well. Jumping into the kind of the light brown colors, this is what I'm very excited for my Black Templar. So it's a 50-50 mix of olive and cappuccino. They mix very, very nicely on the palette. And again, they flow very, very nicely off the brush. Now, I haven't thinned these a huge amount with water, so it's covering quite nicely. I'm still going to need 2 coats, but I'm really, really happy with how this base coat is coming out. I'm also going to paint that skull as well, because I think this is a good way of doing them. I'm then going to take some pure cappuccino and use this to paint all the raised areas on this cloth. And I think this is going on, again, very, very nicely. And as it dries, it does blend down into that layer underneath quite nicely, which I really like. I really like this color. It's making me excited about painting Black Templars again. Then I'm going to take a 50-50 mix of white and cappuccino, and I'm just going to use this to do some really stark highlights on the sharpest folds on this little bit of cloth that we've got going. So I'm just going to very carefully apply it using my size 3 Artist Opus brush. Of course, it would be rude to use anything else. Don't forget, you can use the link in the description to get up to 5% off Artist Opus brushes. And you can also use the link in the description to go straight to the Kickstarter. And if you do back it using any of my links, it does go to help the channel at no additional cost to yourself. The last thing I wanted to do on this was I thinned down some of that olive quite a bit into kind of a glazed consistency. I just painted this into the deepest recesses. Now, I've mentioned how nicely the paint flows off the brush before. That's really important when it comes to something like this. So you don't get stuck, you don't make any mistakes. It just flows really nicely and just gives me that added little bit of depth. Like I said, this has made me excited about painting Black Templars again. I never really expected cappuccino of all colors to be my favorite color. I thought it was going to be the reds, but I'm afraid it's cappuccino. The reds for me are a standout. So when I look at someone like Andy Wardle's work and what he's done with his reds, something like the Eldar models that he's won a Golden Demon with, looking at Fuegan as well that he's won a Golden Demon with, they are absolutely phenomenal. So let's base this cloak. I'm going to base it using Cherry, which I have to say looks a little darker in the pot compared to how it comes out. But you can see going over a black undercoat. Now I have thinned this down quite a lot with some water just to kind of see how it dried. It went on really smoothly, but I did need 3 coats just to get a nice even coverage of a base coat. But let me tell you, that base coat is already very vibrant. When you compare it to something like Mephiston Red, that's kind of got a bit of a desaturated look to it. This, as you can see, is like pow. So in with the first highlights, and the first highlights we're going to do along the raised areas is with chili. Now, this is another fantastic red. It's hard to understand how bright and vibrant this red is and have it. And again, I'm just going to use Citadel paints as a comparison because that's what I use day in, day out. And that's what I use the majority of my painting tutorials in terms of how it goes down. Again, like all the paints, super smooth. The coverage, it's not amazingly fantastic. You do need to build it up. But you can just see it here. The vibrance in it is absolutely amazing. And I'm just blending the edge a little bit with the previous color. with the cherry just to feather it in, just to get a little bit of a blend there, but they are absolutely fantastic. I'm really enjoying this, and the best thing is, as it dries, yeah, it's just a beautiful, beautiful red color. It's a little more difficult to use than the cappuccino, purely because you have to build up more layers, but the result is excellent. And you can see that vibrance here as it's dried. It really does look nice. Now, I will go and add some shadows later on, but firstly, I'm just going to do some more highlighting. And the color I'm going to use for that is Cardinal. Now, there are very, very few direct comparisons with Citadel paints here. I guess the Cardinal is... Wild Rider Red is more of an orange. This is more, perhaps more of a pinky hue to it. But again, it's really, really nice, really, really powerful. And as it sort of dries and as you build it up, you can get a really, really nice bright highlight. So I've just got a very good tip on my brush, and I'm just following the most raised parts of the folds on this cloak. And again, it's just, in a way, it's just make painting quite fun because I've not used these paints before. So it's a case of learning as I go, but also it's a case of just remembering why I love painting in the first place. It's kind of just like producing something and making something rather than mechanically painting in the Citadel style with base, wash, layer, highlight. Now, the last highlight I'm doing is with some of that papaya, very, very small amounts of this. It will blend down into the color underneath, so it helps you get those smoother transitions. But again, it's very, very vibrant, and as it dries, it's very, very vibrant. If I took something like a Citadel equivalent of Fire Dragon Bright, the Fire Dragon Bright is quite desaturated. This is a lot purer, and the color is a lot more vibrant as it dries. The last thing I'm going to do is take some of that claret. Now, I've really thinned this down, and I'm going to work this into the deepest recesses. As it dries, it's going to blend down into the color underneath, but this is a really nice way of adding some really lovely shadows to your red cloak. And again, the other thing I find with these paints, they're really easy to control on the brush. Again, sometimes if I'm using Citadel paints or if I'm using Army Painter paints as an example, they can be a little bit hard to control. Some of them tend to dry out on the tip, but with these paints, they're great. I've thinned them down with a little bit of water, unless I'm going for more of a specific glaze like I am here. But I just love how this red cloak has come out. This would look fantastic on a Space Marine model. I don't know why I didn't use one. And there we go. That is a red cloak painted with these colors. And I look how vibrant it is. I absolutely love it. So there we have it. Those are the new mini color paints. Now, if you have any questions at all, let me know down in the comments and I will do my best to answer all of them. I'll also let Byron from Artist Opus know as well. I'm sure he'll jump in with any answers that I don't have myself. So rest assured, you'll get all the information you absolutely need. I really enjoyed using these paints. I'm really excited to use more of them. And just that, again, my mind is blown by how good the cappuccino color was. I can't wait to use it more. And it's really inspired me to get painting more things. I can't wait to try more of the range. The vibrance in them is just amazing. If you just think back to those reds, it's fantastic. Some of those greens that they've got in the cool green range, they look amazing as well. So I'm very, very excited to have a play with some more of the paints. Like I said, use that link in the description if you're interested. And again, it just gives me a small kickback, but it doesn't cost you anything extra. So thank you so, so much for watching. I hope you found this review useful. I'll see you next time.